How's everybody's day going today? Well, I'm hoping pretty good. Mine's not going too bad. I'm working on some lures for this spring coming. I like to get out there and fish all the spillways and the dams, bottom side of the dams, spillways, and try to get my lures ready for that. I just took the hooks off of these. These I want to redip again. They've been in my box. These I did last year. I didn't use these two at all. I can't really bring it to the camera to show you the pattern, so I'll just kind of... Here, let me look in the monitor quick and make sure I'm making it easy for you to see with the glare. But yeah, I can't bring it to the camera because it's not on auto. I have it plugged in direct, and yeah, anyway. But this one, I paint my lures two different ways. When I paint them for me, I paint them to sell them to the fish. When I paint them for everyone else, I paint them to sell for the people. This is a halfway between. This has pattern on it, and multiple colors, and matching eyes. I really took my time. Not really, I mean, it didn't take a lot of time. I just put a little more detail into it. So this is almost a paint for the people more than the fish. Like this one, I painted the fish with. This is my rock bass, bluegill, sunfish, simulator. This one needs, I need to put hooks on. This just came off the carousel. This one is totally done, clear coat, ready to go. But this is a little more flashier than, like, say, this one, where it's just a 2-color, 3-color. But that's what I'm saying. I paint to catch fish, if that's for me. I give the other people the wow factor. Like, I could have put stripes in there, or a bass pattern, or something like that, and it would catch fish just as well as this will. And I should say it the other way around. This will catch fish just as well as putting the patterns on it. 90% of it is the pattern. I mean, action. Everybody knows that. But when you go to Walmart and you buy your lures, the first thing you do is you look for something and you can go, whoa! That's where how I paint those. That's the whoa. That's why it never hit the water. So all that, I was explaining why I hadn't used these yet. I will. That's why it's going to get another dip of clear. But and then this one I haven't used because I put very expensive paint on it because I wanted to see how it would look. I put candy apple paints on these. This is candy apple green, candy apple orange, and candy apple red, all over a silver metallic. But this one needs at least 2 more coats, but I put killer eyes on that too. If you can see them, they're yellow, red bloodshot. I wished I turned them the other direction though, but for some reason I have this kick of turning my eyes up like a lizard, because it's actually, when it swims, it's more this angle because you're pulling from the top, so the eyes will be more forward. That's kind of why I did it. Same with this one. The eyes are more, but when you're fishing it, they turn down a little bit more, so they look kind of perspective. Where this one I screwed up. The eyes are too straight up and down, and you pull this one. But anyway, la-di-da. And this one, I call my little red-headed jalapeno. This, believe it or not, only has, this one has 3 colors. It has yellow, or maybe 4. Yeah, 4. Yellow, green, red, and pink. I remember the day I got my Createx neon colors in the mail, and I was like, okay, I gotta see how. That's the same with these. These are the Createx neon colors, and I knew just the thing I wanted to do, so I had to dig them out and give them a whirl. But this one I actually fished with. I caught some nice bass with this, and one northern. That's where the scratches are from, that northern. He was a little hammer handle, but he was fun. Knocked the piss out of it, though. I had little hooks on it, too. Like these. Every one of them was in its mouth. But yeah, I just got finished taking the hooks off of these. And I need to put hooks on these too. But basically what I do in the winter, early winter, or late winter, early spring, it's in January right now, but I get pretty busy and I don't have time to paint my own lures come late February and March. But I like to get ahead of it now for, you know, the fishing the spillways and the dams, under the dams. I really like doing that. Hold on here. There we go. So that's what's going on now. Is some of these are going to get redipped. These are done. They need hooks, and these need to be redone. These got destroyed, attacked. This one here I made out of a cheapy Walmart. They're a bright yellow with, I think, 5 diamonds in the middle. Well, I completely stripped it down and made this out of it. I call it the Diamondback. Stripped it down and put the white primer on it, etching primer, so it would really get into the metal, and held up pretty well. And then painted it. It's actually the same colors as this one right here. These two are my matching set. I had the most luck with both those two last year. Perhaps because, oops, I got my sleeve in the hooks. Perhaps because I used them the most. But I caught 7 northern in 1 hour with this lure alone, just playing around. The day I made it, I brought it out and I brought it to a lake that's, you know, there's a lot. There were a lot of northerns in that lake. There's no doubt about it. And I probably could have thrown a lot of things that day and caught those same 7, but who knows? It was just a kick for me that I made this lure and went out and caught 7 northern the same day. I thought it was pretty cool. But these both are painted with Vallejo paint, normally used for people that are into gaming, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of game, where you paint figures and stuff like that. That's why these colors are that tone, I guess, that brilliance. But I really like this one. This one got attacked a lot. I caught a lot with this last year, and this was just a whim. I had paint left over from doing this. I had all the cups set up, and I was like, well, I had one of these set up and primed and ready to go, so I thought, what the hell? And that's why it looks so half-assed. I just kind of didn't tape this tongue off, or the lip. I didn't tape it off, and sprayed it all the orange first, the whole thing, and that alone looked kind of cool. But then I took the black the red. Took the red after and did the whole head with the red, and that with the orange and the red looked cool, and almost left it that. And then I thought, nah, hell with it, let's shade it up. So I went and then I put the black on it, and the rest is history. It got destroyed. I caught a lot of bass with this, including smallmouth, in where we're going early in the spring with this lure. Caught a lot of smallmouth. I'll flash up some pictures now and then of different areas where I fish. Some of the spillways have changed over the years. I have pictures in files that I'll flash up, but of course they've changed. This one here isn't even finished, but you can see how that one got tore up. Now I'm not going to lie, it's from the hook, but when it's being jerked, it's not moving, it's stuck like that. This got attacked. I'll throw that picture up right now. Okay, yeah, that wasn't even but 20 feet out in front of me. I was standing at the end of a boat dock, and whipped it out right along where the boats go in and out. On both sides of that were lilies and weeds and all kinds of things. And I just brought that. I was on like 2 or 3 more casts and I would have been going home. You know how that is. One more and I'm leaving. But yeah, I had this coming across the top real slow. It wasn't even finished. I just threw a clear coat on it so I could do the next step. And I thought, well, what the hell, put some eyes on it. And I brought it along and just moved it now and then, every once in a while, and then I move it again. Sometimes 2 or 3 jerks, sometimes 1. But by the time that thing moved in, 20 feet out in front of me, whatever it was fed up with it, and I moved it the one last time, just one little twitch. In fact, I just took my finger and put it under my line, because I used 20-pound braid on my bait cast, and gave it a little jerk and then reeled it, let it sit, and then the last time I just tapped the line, and that was all it took. That picture. I happened to have my chest cam on, and being it was so close, it made a really nice. I kept trying to go frame by frame to get it so you could see the fish, but it was coming at me, and all it did was push all the water right up ahead of itself. I never saw the fish because it pushed all the water up and then came right back down and behind this lure. It was cool as hell. But anyway, this one needs to be, the hooks need to be taken off, and I need to sand that down and yeah, start that one all over again. But in the early spring, you know, the fish are pretty lethargic. They don't like to move around a lot, and they like these flashy colors. For me, they do anyway. The places where I go, the river that I go, it's pretty much from the North Dakota state line, the Breckenridge area, all the way into the central Minnesota. That river runs straight line as a crow flies along the highway. You can pretty much get there under an hour and a half. But you follow the river like I do, old farm country roads that cross it, and everywhere from North Dakota through south, all the way through into central Minnesota. I just follow roads that follow the river and bumping these along, and all the dams and spillways and backcountry roads, and oh man, I have a ball. There's a couple more that I have to add to it yet. Well, like this one right here. This one's going to be painted with a blue top, a light blue top with a dark blue head with yellow and red underneath. And that goes right here, actually. As part of this 6. I lost the one last year. This one I shortened the bill a little bit. This one is, what made me think of this one was just talking about the backcountry roads and the culverts. A lot of times there's trees and stuff falling over, and you gotta have a shallow diver. So I cut this. See how the bills are? These are the exact same baits. See how I cut the bill shorter, so it wouldn't run as dive, or wouldn't dive as deep. This is a 2 to 5 footer, more like a 5 to 7 foot more, really. But I wanted it shortened so it wouldn't dive near as deep, and made this. And now I'm gonna paint it up like the typical, bluegill, the flashy bluegills. I got this one here too. This is my little bass popper. This is all this overspray is not even going to matter. You're not even going to see that. But this was actually paint left over from this. This stuff sprays so nice. This paint is actually, I'll show you right now. Here's the blue that I got it out. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be the top of this lure right here. But yeah, this paint I bought for just for these lures. These Pouring Master. It's made by U.S. Art Supply, and I have a couple of other of their paint products. One came with my compressor years ago, back when I bought my Master compressor and airbrush kit years ago, my first kit. I've moved on since. Got Iwatas and whatever. That's a different subject. But I have 4 of the quart bottles of their metallics for a job that I'm doing on the side, and love the way it's sprayed. And I've seen these with other vibrant colors. This is just basic opaque color. This isn't even neon. Like, these are the neon lines. And this is just a basic opaque colors, and that's how vibrant they are. And it was 48. Well, no, there's 45 because there's 3 bottles of other things that come with it. But they call it 48 bottle kit. But that's 45 colors, and believe me, you get a lot of colors. But anyway, got off track there a little bit because of the vibrant colors. That's part of the kit here that I'm building. These are a little more duller, for different water clarities and stuff like that. And because they're slow moving early in the spring, you want them to see it. You pretty much gotta be patient and fish a spot over and over and over. When it comes out of the dams and flows and it spills off along the sides and does this back into the areas and back in there, that's where you're going to hit first, over and over. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't all I fish with. These are just when I'm painting and getting set up as far as crankbaits and hard bodies. I'm a skirted jig freak with trailers. Oh my god, hell yeah. I bounce them off the bottom. Yeah, I do it all. This is just this particular hard bodies that I'm talking about right now. But I puddle jump. Like I said, that river, it's long. It'll take me all day, and then some. Sometimes I'll make a weekend out of it and just run along that whole river. I don't know if you guys do shoreline. That's all I do is puddle jump and shoreline fish. And now I can't even find a split because I can't see it. But I use 7.5, or not a 7 foot 2 inch Cast King Royal Legend Pro rod, and I love that rod. It takes everything I give it and everything the fish give it, more importantly. Yeah, sorry I'm struggling with this. Probably driving all you guys crazy right now. Come on, man, you can do it. But my fingers are too big. That's why it's so much easier to do it putting the hooks on. Because right now I'm getting stabbed and the ring keeps moving. You gotta get a far enough bite back where you can get a good pull on it. There we go. See how I got it now? So it's outside. Once you get it that far, it's a piece of cake. But I just couldn't get it up over there. Because actually, these rings are a little too small. They should be a little bigger so that doesn't happen. It's a struggle to get them off. So anyway, yeah, I like that rod. I really, really like that rod. And it's not my first rod that I spent a little bit of money on. And don't get me wrong, it's not like it's a $200 rod. It's just under $100. You can get them for under $100. But I put a Lures. There it is. I got you. Oh, I didn't get enough of it. A Lures Classic Pro. Ooh, almost had that one. I gotta start over again, sorry. My bait caster. It's a Lures Classic Pro. Left-handed, believe it or not. And the reason why is not because I'm left-handed, but I reel with my left hand. Even with my spin cast, I reel them left-handed. But I am right-handed. Oh, that one did work quicker. It's just easier for me. I can have more control on the spool with this my right hand. controlling it, then I'm going to do my left. Because I'm right-handed, I use that hand a lot, so it's a lot more sensitive to those kind of things, I guess. Let's hope I do this right and don't pop it back off. Done that before a million times. But I love that reel. There again, not a very expensive reel. I ordered it off of Amazon because it's really hard to find left-handed reels in bait casters, you know, like going to Walmart or anything like that. You can buy Lures fishing reels, fishing everything, a lot of things that Lures makes you can buy at Walmart. Now I'm not saying it's the top of the line that Lures makes, but there's some decent quality stuff there if you want to just get going. Oh, this one was put on backwards. Huh. I gotta turn it over. Weird. I wonder what I was thinking that day. But anyway, the combination's really good. And now you can really see the split. But being it's on backwards, I gotta do this backwards, which is kind of hard. I have to push them apart rather than, there it goes, rather than pull. But I still did it. Yeah, it's a really good combination. I like the Lures reel. It has the friction magnet in the spool as well as the brake, which is kind of nice. Most do nowadays. These hooks are way too big for that. I just kind of like, I think they were in the box, and I just grabbed this tube knowing I had stuff in my fishing tackle to put it together, but yeah, all this is just way out of whack, which may explain why they're on backwards. I did it with pliers. I didn't have these, but I got on my Lures reel I'm running 20-pound braided line, black. It seems to disappear better. Look at that, it wasn't even focused on that one and it just went right through. Sometimes I'll take my black braided line and cut off a bunch of it and just throw it in my vest. So when I'm using my spinner, when I want my line to disappear, I'll put on a leader. Like if I'm using, you know, 8-pound tests and I happen to be on a bunch of trout and I don't want them to see my line, I'll use that black line. That helps a lot. But when I do my puddle jumping early like I do, I dress for it. I dress warm and I wear hip waders. And I have a fly fishing vest that I carry all this stuff in different boxes, some individually, some group up in boxes, and I put them into compartments. And I dress warm. I always have my net and my scissors and snippers and everything I need clipped to the vest, as well as a hiking pole. I can stick a telescopic one. I clip one of those on my vest when I'm standing, and sometimes I'll walk out because my hip waders are pretty warm, so I'll stand in the water quite a ways, and when I'm walking out I'll use that for stability to walk out and back, or even sometimes just along the shoreline. It's just more comfortable when you're walking. You just feel more comfortable, more secure, or whatever. But I don't use rings on here. I use a clip or a snap with no swivel on my bait cast, and I snap on. And the combination, my rod and reel with that line, oh man, I feel every little bump on the bottom and every little strike. I feel it all. I like my combination. I don't know what you guys use. What do you guys use for equipment and colors? You know, these are pretty much, not pretty much, I don't want to say pretty much, but these colors here really work good for me. This one I don't know. I haven't used like I said, either one of these two. But I have used soft plastics in those colors, and when the walleye are running, oh man, whew, that's kind of why I went with that actually, and this, because these colors, well, this one's been repainted so many times. This is the third paint job I've put on this now. This is an old wigglewort. It's a storm wigglewort. It's not the original. It didn't say wigglewort here. It's a storm. It's an old storm. Originally it was a dark purple with gold eyes, if you guys have ever had one. And then it got all beat up and all that. I found it actually, but I used it for a while. But then I painted it the second time, and it was just all green. It was a dark green on the top and a light green on the bottom, and they hammered it. I didn't even put eyes on it. I just used two colors, and they just kept hammering the hell out of it. And finally I just said, well, I better redo it, and that's what I'm going out with this year. These paints with the neon, that's what it turned out. This is two shades of green though. This is a light green on top with a darker green just to here. Just a quick spray of darker green right here. I left the back a little lighter. You can kind of see it fading in. There's no yellow, even though it looks there's yellow. There's nothing. And just be shifting between the two colors. It's just two colors over white. That's all that is. And when I'm painting for me, that's pretty much what it is, simplicity. This one's simple, but it's a few more colors involved. There's white, and then there's silver over top of the white, all silver. The whole thing was painted silver. And then I sprayed these metallics over that, except for this green. This is a pearl, a dark green pearl. But this is a light blue metallic, and this is a lavender metallic, and that's it. But I sprayed it at different angles so you can see the, let me put the monitor on quick, see if I get it at the right angle for you. It's kind of hard to do with this much clear coat on, but I'm going to try to get it so you can see how the color goes down inside the grooves. Like on this one you can see the grooves really good, I think. But there's grooves in the pattern. There's lines here, and there's cross patterns up here. Well, I sprayed it one way, like this, with the dark green, right directly at it. So it got, all the tops of the grooves are green, but all the bottom, I sprayed silver this way. So there's silver on the bottom and green on the top, and you can see that. It makes them look like fins, or scales rather, not fins. I don't know if it's hard to see in the clear coat. It's hard to get the angle you need to see it. But it looks cool as hell. That worked out good. Surprisingly well. But this is my rock bass lure. When I go to, there's a certain spillway that I go to. It takes about an hour to get there. And it's loaded with smallmouth. And also loaded with rock bass. This one and this one. Mostly this one. I was nailing rock bass left and right. Almost as soon as I throw it out there. This one I wouldn't even reel it hard to let it dive. I would let the current, I would throw it into the current, let it sweep down the current. And, you know, and then it finally hit the current, and I would just do this really slow. And of course it was wiggling at the time, but yeah, and the rock bass would nail it all day long. Same with the smallmouth. It was a competition between the two of them. But yeah, that's why I painted this one the way I did. Knowing there's a bunch of rock bass in there, I figured the smallies and the northerns and the wallies will pepper the poop out of this. But anyway, that's what I'm up to for today. Getting my rigs ready for spillway fishing. It's a pretty tough gig. I've been doing it well enough where I've gained the patience. You really got to be patient to, here, while we're standing here, I want to do this quick because I want to put the hooks on. This is an old tap and die rig that I stole out of my toolbox. My tap and die, I just bought a new one, but I put a 1/16 drill bit in it, and the weight of it is nice because that's all you really need to get the clear coat. After you put them on your carousel, these fill up with clear coat, especially if you dip them. They don't do it so much when you're spraying them, but that was a little hard. I go through both ways just to make sure, and then I use it like a file. Just run it inside just to get the inside of it clean. The more you cast and the more you reel it in and out, just the ringlets alone running in there will smooth it all out. You just want to get it cleaned out so you can get your ringlets in it. Turn it around, scrape it, and then just peel it off with your thumbnail. There you go. But yeah, I meant to be chatting while I was doing that, but some people don't realize all the steps it takes to make lures. One day I'll show you all my tools. I'll have them laid out and show you what I use in case anybody's ever interested in doing these. I recommend it because these blanks are, I mean, they're pretty cheap in comparison to what you're spending for one lure, even at Walmart, even as cheap as they are there. You know, this 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever dollars. I get quite a few of these blanks for a relatively cheap price. I can't remember off the top of my head, or I would literally tell you what it is. Oh, the clip was there, that's why that one was clean. But it's not much. Not much at all. You know,